Hi viewers, welcome to this session on teaching of vocabulary and grammar. Language has been defined as purely human, non-instinctive method of communicating ideas, emotions and desires by means of a system of voluntarily produced symbols, sapere. Here, system of symbols corresponds to the syntactic, semantic and phonological systems. The semantic system or vocabulary may be defined as the stock of words used by a person. Words are important instruments of expression and the lifeblood of language. The system of vocabulary has been classified into different categories like basic reading vocabulary, listening vocabulary, spelling vocabulary, etc. Here, focus is on reading comprehension, listening comprehension and spelling respectively. Types of vocabulary. The order of words in a sentence gives meaning to it. Accordingly, the form of the sentence will be changed. For example, you do listen to me. Do you listen to me? Based on the nature and function of words, there are content words which have meaning when appear in a sentence. They carry the meaning even when independent of the sentence. Example, classroom. This is a virtual classroom. Structural words do not pass any meaning when they are alone. These form words add cohesion, connection among meaningful words and give structure to the sentence or expression. Example, we are discussing structural words. The word are has no independent meaning, but it makes the sentence meaningful. The other content items, we, discussing and structural words are structured into a meaningful sentence with the help of these form words. With respect to the extent of use of a particular word by an individual, there are active words and passive words. Now you are listening to my presentation. To ensure comprehension, I make use of words which could be understood by all listeners. It is also hoped that you also could make use of those words in your speaking and writing. The prerequisite is that you should have thorough understanding of the words and should know both the use and usage. The words must be readily available for use. Such words form your active or productive vocabulary. On the other hand, when we make use of certain technical words like syntactic approach, from my contextual explanation, you may comprehend the meaning. With the help of the glossary also, you will understand it. Thus, the listener or the reader can understand the words. You can just recognize the words or guess the contextual meaning. You haven't mastered the item for use in speaking or writing. Such words form your passive or recognition vocabulary. This may later be added to your productive or active vocabulary. Genres of meaning. A word which is in the productive mode must be thoroughly learned with its genres of meaning. The etymology of a word deals with the origin and history of the word. The dictionary meanings are the conceptual meanings which have been attributed to the word by the community concepts. Words change their meaning with respect to the culture of the society. Sometimes words even take individual meanings, that is, meanings that an individual attaches to a word. Selection of words. The world of words is endless and it is not possible to acquire a high repertoire at school level. Acquisition of vocabulary is a gradual process, so a beginner has to learn words which will help him in real communicative situations. Thus, selection of words become necessary at school level. Words are selected based on the following criteria. Frequency. The number of times the word may be used in real communication. Availability. Frequent use of a particular word in a particular situation. Concreteness. Concrete words which represent objects, places, etc. are preferred to abstract words. Coverage. Capacity of a word to take the place of another word. It represents the multiplicity in meaning of the word. Techniques for vocabulary expansion. Language is dynamic in the sense it goes on developing through word building. Some means for vocabulary growth are addition of affixes, endangered, direct importation from other languages, coffee from Turkish, derivation from proper nouns, academy from Greek garden, coining, psychology, psych and logos, joining two or more words, looking glass. Through English language curriculum, learners acquire vocabulary. Also, from day-to-day communication, new words are being added to recognition vocabulary, which will later be changed to active words. Self-learning is the best way to expand one's vocabulary. The different techniques include collection of useful words which one comes across in listening or reading. Another technique is cognate fit. It refers to the similarity that exists between an English word and that in another tongue. The same word may be used to express a variety of meanings in mother tongue. Using such a word in different contextual sentences will favor effective communication. The technique of paraphrasing will make the learners realize that there are several ways to express the same idea. Reading will give chances to infer or guess the contextual meanings of new words which may be learned later through dictionary references. We have seen that there are conceptual, cultural and etymological meanings for a word. At school level, conceptual meanings are emphasized. A context-based communicative approach is followed to introduce new words through variety forms of texts. The teacher develops appropriate context for a new word. The context can be real, natural citations or contrived ones. The teacher's experience, the learner's experience or imaginary situations which will make the meaning of the word clear to the learner are presented. The presentation can be through interaction between the learner by making use of audio visual devices, etc. If the word is concrete, real objects, models, pictures or such learning aids can be used to give an explanation. Stories, narration, anecdotes, etc. can be the variety items for listening. A minimum of 3 contexts are to be presented. With the first context, the learner could realize the meaning of the word. Here, the teacher ends up with a sentence carrying the new word by substituting the equivalent words. With the second context, the meaning is once more identified, and with another context, the learner grasps the word meaning. To ensure understanding, the learner is asked to develop his own context in which he uses or manipulates the new word appropriately. Instead of simple context, language activities for listening, reading, writing and speaking are preferred in learner-centered instruction. 3 or 4 new words can be integrated in one context, and from the repeated contextual use, the listener could guess the meanings. When reading activity follows, the meaning of the same words become clearer. Another activity can be given in which the learner gets chance to try with these words. Teacher can guide the process and edit the product. To ensure learning, learners are given chance to engage in speaking using the words. Teacher can help them in selecting appropriate themes to integrate words. Miming and vocabulary games can be used as techniques to evaluate learning of vocabulary items. Through variety contexts and activities, the correct spelling and pronunciation of the words are to be focused. Synonyms, Different parts of speech of the root word and antonym can be acquired through reference work. Dictionary can be profusely used by the learner as a part of the study. Teaching of grammar. The object of grammar is to control the freedom of words so that there is no congestion of the intellectual traffic. Hogan. Grammar is the anatomy, the practical analysis of a language. Grammar welds the structure of thought and its expression into an understandable pattern. It is the means through which variety in linguistic expressions are possible. A sound knowledge of a language is not possible without a working knowledge of its grammar. Ungrammatical language use is a black mark for an educated, cultured person. English grammar is not a subject that needs to be taught as a new pieces of information. Second language learners have already been using the grammar of their native language. They already know how to communicate simple ideas even without consciously being aware of the presence of grammatical rules. The teacher can make use of this intuitive knowledge and help the learner from generalizations about grammar. Learners' capacity of language production is to be taken as the pivot. Making use of their own first language, we can apply the techniques of rewriting, rearranging, etc. A pedagogic grammar is a complete plan for teaching the target language presented in the form of a graded set of teaching units. Each of such units consists of the text, exercise and illustrations and also instructions on how to present it in the classroom. At the same time, see that correct usage of language or grammar of language is to caught through communication. There is limitation to teach grammar as such, and most of our learners are scared of grammar classes. Especially for beginners, correct language use is necessary rather than accurate knowledge of grammar. Remember that ability to apply correct grammar for use through communication could itself be developed systematically following appropriate methodology. All grammatical systems are man-made and there is no great grammar book in the sky. We can believe in better grammar teaching and not more grammar and introduce whatever is necessary at the right place, at the right time and in right measure. Difference between use and usage. The meaning of the word usage is a manner of doing something. In English language learning, usage is the customary manner in which a language or a form of language is spoken or written. The grammatical items are simply usages in a language. They have to follow certain forms and sequence to make the sentence exactly the same to the listener or the reader. To cite an example, when and is used as a conjunction between two nouns, it takes the middle position and the verb takes the plural form. This is the usage of the conjunction and. On the other hand, use means to employ for some purpose. In the above example, the use or function or application of the expression and is to join two words. When there is need to join two nouns in a sentence, and is used. Here, instead of the grammatical label and as a conjunction and learning about its rules and usage, and is used in a sentence by the speaker or writer to express his meaning. Thus, use of an item corresponds to its function in communication or its application. The usage is not to be learned, but will be automatically acquired through repeated use of the item in real communication. Approaches to grammar. Based on the what of grammar, Whether use or usage, the approach to teach grammar also varies. The different approaches include linear and organic. Linear approach. Here, the principles of one item at a time, that also moving from the simple item to the complex one or from the known to the unknown, are observed. One grammatical item is introduced, practiced and mastered. In a systematic step-by-step manner, individual items are learned separately. This approach is usually compared to building up of a wall by putting one after another of bricks. Linear approach emphasizes usage and has been criticized since it does not agree with the process of acquisition of language, which happens in a systematic linear style. Organic approach. When language is used as a medium for meaningful communication, the grammatical components cannot be separated and consciously learned. If a learner has to master one particular functional item, he will have to use a few other functions also to construct a meaningful sentence. Organic approach can be compared to growing a garden. The plants and flowers do not grow in a step-by-step manner. Items are interconnected, and a mastery of a simple item may be the first step in learning a complex item. This process is termed as linguistic metamorphosis. Developing appropriate context for meaningful communication with the integration of functional items ensures acquisition of the item for future use. Methods of teaching grammar. Inductive method. Learner's own language is made use of learning grammar. In the pre-grammatical stage, a good deal of grammatical information is conveyed to the learner not through rules but through examples. When the learner comes to the rule, he feels that he already knows it. This helps in attaining mastery over the item through practice. Deductive method. Focus is on grammatical points and not on communicative ability of the learner. It is a knowledge-based method since the learners are taught the rules first, that also directly. They are required to recall the usage of the item and produce sentences. Grammar games. Let us learn some games to make our grammar classes interesting. Snap. To collect appropriate question tag cards to match the statement card. The best sentence. Using the given set of structural items, sentences are to be framed. Draughts board. From two display sheets, one of verbs and the other of pronouns, cut and paste in the columns of a draughts board. Brainstorming. Listing and sharing experiences using specific grammatical items. Verbs search puzzles. Headless and tailless sentences. Find who from the description. Teaching grammar or functional items. At secondary school level, grammatical items are taught through contextual presentation and sometimes directly by usage. The method to be adopted depends on the complexity of the item. In certain cases like reporting, it may be quite easy for the average students to learn the rules regarding the changes to be made when a statement or a question is reported. Later, through communicative activities, they learn to use the item to express meaning. With regard to simple items like can, there is no need for such rule learning. Just through classroom contexts, the use of the item will become natural. In such cases, the function of the item are emphasized and demonstration through activities based on listening, reading, speaking and writing are provided. When the grammatical items are integrated and presented through activities, They need not take up grammatical labels. The teacher need not explain the rules of usage. Learners will automatically try using the item in meaningful communication and thus learn it. Evaluation of grammar. At lower levels, English basic grammar is taught either as usage or in use depending on the linguistic environment, the level of learner and the nature of the item. The study of forms or usage and functions or use in association with meaningful interactions will develop confidence in real-time communication. Active language use can be ensured through writing and speaking tasks. Both listening and reading sessions provide exposure to linguistic forms used meaningfully. Such situations could be made use of in testing also. Communicative tasks like opinion gap activity, information gap, reasoning gap activity, extempore speech and writing tasks like developing paragraphs, essays, paraphrasing, reporting are meaningful techniques to evaluate the ability to apply functional grammar in real communication. Discrete items also have to be provided to assess the knowledge level of forms. The basic elements of a second language are to be acquired or learned by a secondary school student. There are different types of vocabulary items and there are different techniques and strategies that can be adopted by the teacher to teach and to expand vocabulary. Similarly, based on the nature and usefulness of the grammatical items, the strategies to be adopted will vary. Inductive and deductive methods focus on the use and the usage of the items. In real communicative situations, the acquired grammatical items are to be used functionally to express one's idea in speaking and writing. Grammar games will be interesting and different techniques of assessment of grammatical proficiency are to be learned by a practicing teacher. Before we move to the next session, please try to answer the following questions. Distinguish between productive and recognition vocabulary. Suggest 4 techniques to expand one's vocabulary. Distinguish between form and function. Explain inductive and deductive methods of teaching grammar. Develop a plan to introduce the grammatical item to following deductive method. Here are some books for your references. Grammar Practice Activities, a Practical Guide for Teachers by Penny U.R. 2004, Cambridge, Cambridge. Teaching English Grammar by P. Gure 1966, Longman, Britain. Hope you enjoyed the session. See you next time. Till then, bye.